Welcome back to another video. I know it's been a really long time since I last made a video on this channel. Well, a video with commentary, I suppose. And I've been really busy, and my mom has been home all day, and I haven't really been able to record. I don't want her finding out about my YouTube channel and stuff like that. But I'm back, temporarily, I suppose, just for today, so expect like 2 videos today, possibly. This one and a really short one. And in this video I'm going to be sharing my opinions on the Elder Scrolls Online after 200 hours, 230 hours, but I'm gonna say 200 hours. And I'm going to divide this into like different parts: quests, skills, dungeons, battlegrounds, and mounts and pets. There's of course a lot more I can talk about this, but these are like the main things I want to discuss. So I guess I can start with quests, and I'm a big fan of the quests in the Elder Scrolls Online, at least the main story ones, especially the Elsewhere questline. I did think that the Dark Heart of Skyrim, the Greymore expansion, I thought that questline was a bit of a disappointment. It ended too abruptly. It didn't feel conclusive. So I'm a bit disappointed about that, but otherwise I've been enjoying the main questline so far. I also think that a lot of smaller quests sometimes are better than main quest lines. For example, in what's it called, Vardenfell, the Balmor quests about, I don't remember what the quest is called, about Veya and Ulran and Naryu and all that stuff. I think that quest line is better than the main quest line of Vardenfell with Vivek and all of that. But as a whole, I do think that the quests are pretty good. I think that the rewards, except for the skill points, are a bit underwhelming, but I mean, I can't complain. And the next thing I was going to talk about was skills, and I like the skills. I just feel that like some skill morphs are a bit underwhelming. So I always find myself going with the same morphs all the time, even if I make a new character. For example, I was playing Nightblade yesterday. I made a Nightblade to play with my friend, and I think it was this first skill on the shadow, or I don't remember, skill line, and there was this, I could either morph it into like increasing while slotted in, it increases my movement speed while cloaked, while invisible, which is great. And the other morph, I think, increased the damage that the target took by 2%, which that's nothing. So like if it was 20%, yeah, then it's definitely worth it. But when it's just 2%, you won't actually notice it. So, and I've seen multiple other skills like that are so useless. Like, who would even run these skills? Why even use that morph? I just don't get it. I think that some skill morphs could use some balancing, because some of them are just super unviable, but other than that, I do like most of the skills. There are some classes where I think like most skills are pretty boring, like Dragon Knight, which is my least favorite class as of right now. Next thing I wanted to discuss was the dungeons. I like the dungeons as a whole. I just feel like some dungeons are way too long. Tempest Island, Blackheart Haven, Crucible Dungeon, especially not Crucible Dungeon, Blessed Crucible. I think that dungeon it's like I almost consider quitting every time I end up in that dungeon, but I don't, because I don't want to be disrespectful to my teammates. But really, that dungeon is it's plain boring. I just put on a YouTube video and something and watch that instead, and I just spam a bunch of random keys on my keyboard. But other than that, I do feel like most of the dungeons are good. I don't like how like everyone tries to speedrun the dungeon. I want to listen to what all the NPCs have to say, like during the quest lines for the dungeons, and get some backstory and stuff. But most people will try to kick you if you're standing like still too long. So I wish I could listen to the dialogue and do the quests and stuff, but most of the time it's not really an option, because like most people just run past everything and just want to get to the end boss instantly. And And then next up is Battlegrounds, and my opinions on Battlegrounds, it hasn't really changed. I do feel like I did say that the damage output was so minuscule, and I somewhat still agree with that. I think my build on my Dragon Knight was just horrendous. I can definitely kill a lot of people. I tend to be like the top player in the Battlegrounds when I actually play Battlegrounds. I've learned a bit about damage over time, mixing that with direct damage attacks and stuff like that. But I still feel like Battlegrounds is dominated by 4-player teams. Like people, well, I mean, each team tends to have 4 players. What I'm talking about is 4 friends playing together and just wiping out the entire lobby. Now, that's something I'm not a fan of. Other than that, I think the Battlegrounds they're fun. It's not really my thing, but I do feel like there's too many times that you're going to end up like in Capture the Relic or Crazy King or something, where you're going to end up in against a team of like 4 players with the best teamwork ever, and then your team is going to be like 3 players, and there's like no communication between any of the teammates. That's enough about the Battlegrounds, if you ask me anyway. Next thing is mounts and pets, and I do feel like I'm kind of split. I do like the mounts and pets. I just don't like how they're all locked behind a paywall. Basically all of them except for the horses and the Indriks, but the Indriks are gone. They might have a replacement, but as of right now, I don't think there's anything that you can obtain for free. Which I do feel like it's a shame. I mean, you can be super lucky with your free crown crates, but I wouldn't bet on it. It is not very likely, and that's not even once a month, and that's 1 crown crate. So I mean, I think that the mounts and pets, they can be great for role playing. That's one of the things I like the most about this game. Role playing, different characters and stuff. But like without some mounts, it feels a bit weird. If I'm making like an assassin character and I'm running around on like a massive large mount that like would draw way too much attention, it just doesn't feel right. But other than that, I do think that the mounts are alright. I don't like how you have to upgrade the mounts on each character. I think there's like 60 levels in each of the upgrades. That's 180 total upgrades, 1 per day. That's 180 days of upgrades, which is I'm not a big fan of that. I wish it was globally, but maybe they fix that someday. I don't know. Next up is character creation. Now this is actually something I added while I'm talking right now, and I wanted to say that I love the character creation. I bought my friend ESO a few days ago, and he was a bit overwhelmed with all of the different options that he could pick while creating his character. And I mean, it can definitely be overwhelming, but I do think you have the freedom to create your own character. And there's a lot of different races to choose from to really like make your perfect character, and it's great for role playing as well. But there's something I don't like. Now this is really related to character creation. I do feel like there's a certain imbalance between certain races and their skills. I feel like, for example, high elves increase their spell damage, and spell damage is directly linked to magicka based attacks, which are a lot of attacks in this game. So 300 extra spell damage, that's a lot if you get it up to the max level. So I feel like high elves are pretty damn good, which can somewhat ruin the role-playing aspects, since not all classes are going to perform equally. But other than that, I do feel like character creation and stuff like that is great. I think there's a lot of freedom with how you want your character to look. I wish that there were more hairstyles available for free. A lot of them are locked behind a paywall, but like the basic hairstyle pack is pretty cheap, so I guess I can tolerate it. I just wish there was a way to earn crowns for free, even if it was only like 10 crowns per day or something. I mean, I think you can buy it or something. I see people talking about it in the chat all the time, but I'm not sure if that's a thing or not. And the last thing I want to talk about is crafting. This isn't on my notes either. But I like the crafting. I just wish that the crafting bag was something that was available for all players, because crafting, especially on like a character that you're like level 60 on, you have a lot of equipment that you need. 60, I meant 26. So there's not going to be a lot of room for different ingredients for stuff like food and other stuff. So you're constantly going to have to delete or sell stuff from your inventory. I just wish that the craft bag was either not a thing at all or available to all players, because it does make crafting pretty hard and unviable for free-to-play players. But other than that, I think that the crafting is fun. I get some vibes from Order & Chaos Online, where you just run around for hours gathering resources, crafting, leveling up, and all that stuff. So I think that it's a nice aspect. I just wish that the crafting bag was a bit more, I guess, balanced between free-to-play and pay-to-play players. But other than that, I like the crafting. And that's basically all I have to say for ESO, or about ESO for now, after around 230 hours. I definitely like it more than when I made my last video, hence the increase in playtime. But I still think that there's aspects of the game that can definitely be improved and worked upon, and I hope that they will improve something about the game during 2021. And if you enjoyed this video, you can give it a like. If you disagreed, you can drop an extremely angry comment and tell me that I'm a noob because I don't have 7,000 hours on this game. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!